I guess the big one is the GTA Remastered trilogy.
GTA Remastered Trilogy. We spoke about this not a week or two ago, like a couple of weeks ago, because these games were
Was announced.
delisted
Yeah. Yep.
from their respective stores. Hot rumors of a trilogy, and it has finally been confirmed. You have
Mhm.
a pack which includes Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto. All you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ Andreas. So,
That's good.
I've played all of them. San Andreas was great. Like I really enjoyed it, but that mission can go die in a hole. I think
I've
everyone
actually,
who's played it will know exactly which mission I'm talking about.
I think I've played all three of them, but never, you know what I mean, played them. I've always played bits and pieces of them
I
because
think,
I
yeah,
never owned a PS2, so I
I
never really had consistent access to these.
I think I played a bit of Grand Theft Auto 3, but I definitely finished Vice City and San Andreas. I played them both on PC, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're like I think we've spoken about this at length now, but like I'd be very keen to pick these up on a Switch. Are they coming to Switch?
I
I don't
think they are.
actually know.
Yes.
Like a Switch to me is one of those things like, yeah, I can dive in,
I
play
think they are coming
a
to
little bit
Switch.
here and there. But I do worry how these older, like defining open world games hold up on a modern day stage. Where if you've never played them before, you might play these and go, these worlds feel kind of empty and it's not really that much to do.
I
But
definitely think it's going to be a nostalgia thing. Like you are playing them because you remember them.
exactly, yeah.
So the part of the enhancements coming to these, because these have actually been ported to like Unreal Engine 4
Yeah.
in entirety. They will have GTA 5 style controls, which I think is great
Mm.
because the control schemes of those games has not aged well.
Will they have Snap to cover? Because that was not a thing.
I think so.
My
You know,
goodness.
the short gameplay trailer doesn't really give an overview of
No.
which mechanics are making their way through, but yeah, we'll see. So I think that's pretty cool. The art style differences are so interesting
Yeah, I'm
because
trying to find. There was a tweet I saw. I think Nibble
it's
put.
weird because it's like it's definitely more defined, but they
Yeah,
somehow retain the
the weirdness. Let
polygon
me. Yeah, here we
weirdness.
go.
So I mean the character, I don't even know his name, but the main character from 3 looks like a Fortnite character. He looks super strange.
So this
You know,
this
there's
is
CJ.
cropped. Okay, but this is original PS2 or whatever, and modern.
You see, it's like more defined, but still
It's still got
weird.
like that
Like it's
cartoony look, and
strange.
then
Like
this is Grand Theft Auto 3. Like
I
that's
mean
quite a
that's a stark
yeah,
difference.
it's a
Yeah,
huge
yeah. That's
difference.
a
Um, audio listeners having the worst time right now. We're looking at old and new, going, wow, they've done some stuff to these.
the weather effects in the newer games look, I mean, really good. But I mean, even then, you look at the car in GTA 3, and it's still like low poly blocky.
Mm,
You know, so I think that's cool because they've skirted the line that so many remakes do now of
mm,
looking like how your brain remembers them. You know what I mean?
exactly, yeah.
So I think that's cool for a just a nice nostalgic touch there.
Yeah,
I think it's $60 for all three.
yeah.
A bit pricey in my view.
It's not bad given
That
that it's all three
edition,
of
yeah.
them.
They're doing a weird thing though. San Andreas, yeah, San Andreas as a standalone is going to
Mm,
be on Game Pass,
yeah, I saw
and I
that.
think Vice City or 3 is going to be on PlayStation now.
Mm,
So weird. Uh,
well,
but
okay
yeah,
then.
they're releasing when November 11th, I
It's
think.
November 11th, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so that's cool.
that's coming out.
November 11th is strange. We've got a GTA remaster, we've got the Skyrim remaster for new consoles, and we've got KOTOR release.
Really? Is there another Skyrim remaster?
Of course, there's a fucking Skyrim remaster. If there's a
My
new
goodness.
platform, Todd Howard is there.
He's there. He's waiting. But yeah, mention of Game Pass and PlayStation. Let's just quickly bounce to Among Us finally coming to consoles, which I can't believe this took this long. To be honest, I mean,
I genuinely thought this had happened already.
yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's available on Switch.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean,
See,
Among
maybe
Us.
that's why I thought that it was
Yeah,
on titles already.
I
Yeah,
love this image though.
that's
Xbox,
a very good
little
image.
Xbox Series X with Among Us crewmates just
Has
doing
Among Us
things.
like had its day, or is it just fallen out of
Uh I
the
think
common
it's
like?
yeah, I think it's out of the zeitgeist, but I'm pretty sure it's still played by many people. But yeah, it's interesting because games got crossplay. It's like literally on everything now, including mobile. So I think having it on Xbox and PlayStation will just boost those player numbers because a lot of
Mm.
people, I imagine, have not even tried it despite it being on mobile. So yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at the Steam charts. Among Us, its 24-hour peak was 11,000.
I mean that's still
Currently
a
playing is 4,000. Yeah,
I mean that's still a lot
It is
given the game's been out for a long time now.
it's a far cry from its
Oh
all-time
yeah,
peak
from
of
its
500,000.
yeah.
But yeah,
But also
that's
that's just on Steam as well. Now imagine
that's
on
just
all
on
the
Steam, obviously. Yeah, I
imagine on all the
mean, I'm
platforms.
sure a lot of people playing on their phones and stuff like
Mm,
that. So yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
I'm going to pivot.
Um,
I've got a logical flow here. Okay, you see this Xbox on the screen.
I'm ready.
You can
I'm
now
ready.
buy it as a fridge.
Damn,
Look at
nailed it.
that. Look at that. So, yeah, this is funny because this Xbox mini fridge, I mean, when the Xbox Series X was first revealed, it became a meme because of its shape. Like, I love the look of the Series X, but the fact that it's like a rectangular box just, lends itself to some really good Photoshop. And one of those jokes was, oh, the Xbox Series X looks kind of like a fridge. And that meme has
Trailer
now become
is
a
fucking
reality.
ridiculous. I love how they basically took the original Xbox Series X reveal trailer and just like did the same thing, but then at the end the Xbox is a fridge. That
Yeah,
is
but it says the world's most powerful, and you're like, oh, what is it? And it says mini fridge.
leaves the
X,
competition
but
cold. Oh my god.
but it's I love how self-aware it is because this is somebody who pitched an idea of like, hey guys, this fridge
Box
meme
chill.
is it's popular. Why don't we just see this through? And
Mm.
this leads us to this article. The Xbox Series X fridge has sold out immediately, gets review bombed, and has attracted a huge
Imagine
scalper.
review bombing a fridge. Like, come
I
on, man.
mean, I can't believe that, but
What are
it's
you doing with your life?
some marketing exec is smiling to the bank right now, thinking this really was just a dumb idea that has been turned into a full product that is now just sold out. I
Yeah.
want one. I wouldn't say no.
I mean, they are going to be produced, like mass produced. I think this is just like the initial
It's the
run, I
initial run,
assume.
yeah.
This isn't a collector's item, it's not
No.
going to be a limited release. But yeah, I think in the States, it's only selling at Target, so it's only like
Mm,
one retailer. I think it is in a bunch of other regions, and I know Aaron Greenberg of Microsoft said that they want to bring it to more regions.
mm.
Hope that means here because it's like $100 fridge, which is not bad.
For a little
And
mini fridge, yeah.
yeah, I'd fucking put that in like my office or something and
Mm.
just smash some.
Throw your actual
And
Xbox out the
you're
window.
only allowed to put Mountain Dew in there. It's the only drink you're allowed to put in there.
I love how yeah,
Uh,
there's no brand affinity here. It's just
yeah,
a
zero.
green and black
Like,
drink, but we all know Mountain
we
Dew
all know
is
it's
the right
Mountain
fit,
Dew. We
yeah.
all know.
Um,
Apparently, it's got a USB port on it as well, so you can like charge. I don't know, charge your controller.
when are they announcing
Xbox
the
fridge.
Skyrim port?
Oh, dear. Yeah, you can play Skyrim on your Xbox fridge. It will
My
happen.
goodness. um,
You've
okay.
got your Fusrodar mode, which makes everything very cold.
Wow. What news are you jumping to
What's your
next?
next logical flow? I'm waiting.
Well, we've got the fridge. You know it's what mini fridges are great for. Cooling drinks. What do you drink? What's the best time to have a drink? When you watch a movie. That's right. The, the world premiere of the Uncharted movie. Well, the movie trailer.
Oh,
Um,
this movie that's been in like development hell for like 10 years
yeah,
now.
sorry, the this newsfeed does PlayStation's blog doesn't crop so nicely on our setup here. I'm sorry, so you're getting half text here, but this is the most important bit here. I'm gonna make it nice and big. So I need to put the volume down. And we're just gonna have the trailer running in the background here. So video viewers are getting some premium Uncharted footage. Audio listeners, imagine you're watching Uncharted the movie, but it's the trailer.
So this movie has gone through so many iterations that initially Mark Wahlberg was meant to be Nathan Drake, and now Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg is Sully.
They just aged him up a bit.
Tom Holland is Nathan Drake, and Tom Holland still looks like a child, so it's very hard for me to see Nathan Drake
It's
in him. You know what I mean?
it's such a weird thing because so if you've watched the trailer and you've played the Uncharted games, you'll notice a lot of parallels between Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4. Like Uncharted 4 specifically is like the latest Uncharted, but also it's got, echoes of an origin story because it touches back on Nathan Drake's past.
Mm.
But I don't know, it feels like they've just taken elements from all the games and just thrown them into one movie, which I find very weird.
They have quite literally taken all the set pieces from all the games and smushed them into one.
Mm,
Like the area where you meet Chloe there reminds me a lot of Uncharted 2.
exactly. Mm.
You've got Nathan's brother mentioned, which was Uncharted 4.
But even Nathan's brother, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you're going to see him in the movie. Who's playing his brother? Have they confirmed that?
Yeah, another
Like, I
young
don't know.
kid. Um, and
Another
then I
baby.
mean the final scene in this whole trailer is just the climatic like aeroplane fight from Uncharted 3,
Mm.
which in a game was a cool set piece. In the movie, just looks ridiculous. Like just looks at.
I
I
would
mean,
put,
he jumps towards the plane. Like, is
yeah,
the plane going backwards?
defies
Like,
science, like
how
completely.
yeah.
Actual
This
physics.
I don't know. I just can't. The casting to me feels so off. I can't
Well,
get behind Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
can we just
Or
talk about
even Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Like,
Mark Wahlberg as Sully? I can buy that. Okay, hear me out. I can buy that. But why does he not have the mustache? Like,
yeah,
that is just,
he just looks like Mark
it's
Wahlberg.
an actual crime against this.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, sorry, wrong news scene. It's
the,
an
the
actual
casting for
crime.
Chloe seems very good though.
Yeah,
I She sounds like Chloe.
yeah,
She looks like Chloe. Just I think that's solid. But I just can't get behind the Tom Holland. I
yeah,
can't. It just he looks like a baby version of Nathan Drake, and
yeah. But that's why I'm a bit torn. Like, look, I don't expect the movie to be fantastic, but I imagine it's going to be like good popcorn fun, which I'm fine. Like, I'm not a difficult person to please with the movie. Like, I enjoy a variety of things, but it's just a weird thing to me how, given Uncharted's got a rich history. It's been around for more than a decade. I don't know when the first one came out on PS3. Surely it's more than a decade. Like, surely you would start off like, here's the entry point to what could be a franchise. Like, this is Nathan Drake and this is, Sully. But it feels like they've taken everything and just squishing it into this movie, which could be a good or bad thing. It means like if they make a second one, they just, dive into, untold stories. I don't know. I wouldn't like the way I feel. I wouldn't be surprised if in the movie we see the iconic train sequence from Uncharted 2. Like, it's
definitely
if you're
gonna
throwing everything in the kitchen sink, in how would you not have that? So,
it's definitely gonna be there. Yeah, and that just makes me wonder. Like, are they really just pushing this out to be like, hey, remember all these 4 games? Fuck, they were cool, right? Like,
mm,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't have much faith in this. Like Sony's game to movie stuff. Like, I really thought they were gonna hit a winner when they announced like Ratchet and Clank as an animated movie,
mm,
and that just sucked. Like that
I know,
really. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have much faith in this, to be honest. So
man. So you know what you need to recover from that story.
tell me, tell
That's
me.
right. You need some chocolate.
Ooh, some haunted
So
chocolate.
you guys like Stardew Valley?
Not
The
really.
what? Stardew Valley, good time. I put a good 30, 40 hours into it. And that's baby numbers, if I'm being honest, because people
That
put
is baby
put
numbers. Yeah.
hundreds, if not thousands of hours into this game. But Concerned Ape, aka Eric Barone, the creator, is making a new game finally called Haunted Chocolatier, which
Concerned
the
apes to
I
chocolate. Yeah.
think I think the elevator pitch is you run a chocolate store in a haunted mansion, which is
Which seems so cool.
I like
I
that.
I was immediately sold by the
Mm,
premise. Like, you know what it reminds me of? There's a game that came out a while back called Moonlighter.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, you ran like
yeah.
a weapon store, and at
Mm,
night you had to go into dungeons to defeat monsters to stock up your weapon store with
yeah.
new weapons. So this reminds me of that because it looks like you go out into this like I don't know this other world and fight enemies to get
Stuff.
um
Yeah.
ingredients to make your chocolate. Like,
Mm.
look at these green blobs you're just hitting with a stick, and these crows.
This game, very much in terms of style, Stardew Valley.
Stardew, very Stardew. But Stardew didn't have combat like this, so this is
No,
a
Stardew had some combat. I mean, you could explore the
okay.
mines. But yeah, it wasn't like at all combat focused. Not that this is, but I think I will have to
This
believe that
decor
he's leading into more combat with this game. Given
looks
that,
like you host a store with chocolate.
look,
Um,
Stardew Valley is just a good wholesome time, so I expect the
mm,
same from this.
lots of character interactions here.
Mm,
Very good character portraits. I think they look great.
yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. No release date or release window. It just says in development.
Mm,
So who knows? But yeah, that's cool. I mean, Stardew Valley really rocked the world when it
mm,
came out.
made by
And
one
he
person.
supported it. He supported it so well
Yeah.
over time. So
Yep.
yeah, this is cool. I think
Uh,
it was actually in Jason Schreier's first book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. He interviewed
yeah.
Eric
There's a
Barreau.
there's a whole
Said
chapter in this, and if you want to read a story of like, I don't know, pure
a lot
just
of risk and
grit and
sacrifice.
yeah,
Yeah,
sacrifice. Like this dude's girlfriend slash wife at the
yeah.
time
Basically,
basically
Eric Barreau.
supported him. Yeah, for
Yeah,
2-3 years
like
while he put this game together.
him and his girlfriend really felt like Harvest Moon wasn't satisfying their Harvest Moonness
Mm.
craving, and so he set out to make a game, and she supported them throughout that entire process, which is a
And
sacrifice on both of their
to
parts.
to be
So
clear,
yeah,
when he set out to make a game, it was he literally did everything.
the
He's
game. Yeah.
he's a one man a one man circus who just does
Mm.
every damn act. I'm still amazed that he's done the art, the music, everything. It's insane
But I
to me.
think why the game worked was both of them knew what they wanted from a
Exactly.
new type of game like this, and they're like, "Let's make the game we would love to play." And it
Yeah.
turns out that a lot of people felt the same as them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
so I do know in that chapter he said that he wants his next game to only take 2 years, and that was in 2016. So
Stardew just sucked this man's life up. Um, yeah, and some quick pieces of news before we end. Microsoft
Mm,
has. Sorry, I've got to segue into this. You need need space to store that new
chocolate.
Chocolatier game. Here you go. Xbox has announced. Well, Microsoft has announced larger Xbox storage. Um, but yeah, it's
Also with
expensive.
Seagate. Yeah, it's fucking expensive.
It's the headline of
Yeah.
this article. New larger Xbox storage expansion costs more than on Xbox Series S.
Well, it does. I mean, I still defend Microsoft's approach to this. I think both Sony and Microsoft have valid reasons for how they went about giving players options for expanding
Mm,
storage. I think Sony's one alienates a lot of people. I think a lot of people are not even going to bother.
mm.
And I think Microsoft's version is easy to put on a shelf and
You
understand
literally plug
for
it in,
most
yeah.
people. Yeah. And genuinely, like I got one and I literally just plugged it in the Xbox, like, hey, cool, done. Like
Mm,
sorted. It's one of the most painless things ever. And the price for the 1 terabyte version was not terrible. It's like $230, which yes, you can get much faster storage that you can pop in your PS5 for $180, $190. I get it, but
mm,
the ease of use here and the format, make it worthwhile.
mm.
The 2 terabyte price here makes no
It's
fucking sense
$400.
to me. It is
Oh.
$400, which is you know, at at least $50 more than any competing drive in
Mm,
that capacity range and speed. So it's just a a huge surge in price to me. I don't think it's worth it. I think if you're buying, listen, people can buy what they want, but I think $400 for that is just crazy.
it's an
Yeah,
obscene amount
and
of money
and
for.
it does nothing but make Sony's approach look better, in my
I'm
view.
I'm still of the opinion, and I don't think I'm alone in this, but I'm of the opinion that internet speeds are fast enough that storage space almost feels obsolete to me. Like personally, I mean, I'm not playing 5 to 8 games at a time on my PlayStation. So like I don't see myself upgrading storage because uninstall something, and if I want to play it in a year, I can download it in relatively short space of time. I mean, and this is in South Africa. Like, you got way faster speeds overseas that you could download. You could download like 50 gigs in, I don't know, an hour or two, if that, maybe faster.
I agree with you. There's definitely a trade-off on.
It's
It's
just the
definitely
convenience though. Yeah,
it's
100%.
I mean,
Which to each their own, but to me, I'm just like, I can't see myself forking out for anything.
I mean, I've purchased the 1 terabyte for the Xbox and my PlayStation,
Yeah.
and you know, I did that because I just got really irritated by every time we got new code or new game. It was like you have to uninstall like 2 things, and I was just like, you know.
Like, I'm done with
So,
this.
but it is a convenience thing. Like I have more games installed on my Xbox than I know what to do with currently. So
It's the Xbox Game Pass curse. It's like, oh, I'll just
it
add
really
that to
is.
my list.
But yeah, I think the 2 terabyte option here sucks. You also have a 512 gig option for $140. My view, it's not a bad price, but I would just wait for like a bit of a discount on the 1 terabyte and just take the plunge there.
Yeah, because I mean, the reality is that games are also not going to get smaller. I think they're going to get bigger as the generation goes on. Like, I have to believe that in 5-6 years' time, when we're looking at the next Xbox and PlayStation, by then games will be, the average will be 100, 200 gigs,
it's just
whatever.
natural progression as textures and assets become larger and larger and larger.
What's wild to me is that my PS3, if I'm not mistaken, was a 40 or 60 gig version. Yep. And look, like back then, it's like, yeah, that's more than enough. Looking at it now, I'm like, my God, I could.
The Xbox 360 launched with a 20 gig hard drive.
Mm-hmm. And then my PlayStation 4 was a 500 gig, and even that was like, wow, that's so much space. Well, never gonna.
The Nintendo Switch in 2017 launched with what, only 32 gigs internal storage.
Switch games are obscenely small.
Yeah,
weirdly.
but even that, like, I mean, Breath of the Wild was like 8 gigs, so it took like a quarter of your hard drive off the bat. Like,
but still 8 gigs. It's so small. Well, the Switch doesn't count because you can just pop in an SD card, and those cost next to nothing. So
that's true.
So Nintendo,
and also the new OLED comes with 64 gigs internal, which I think is really nice.
So people laugh at Nintendo, but they're miles ahead of the storage game here. The storage is so cheap. But last piece of news before we bounce. We've got this ongoing tradition where every week we somehow touch on the Activision/Blizzard drama in some way. But this is at least a good spin in that Overwatch's McCree has now been renamed to, well, not renamed, gets a new name, Cole Cassidy, which, just long story short, if you didn't know, McCree was actually named after a staff member, Jesse McCree, who has since had allegations and whatnot, circulate about him, which is just, in bad taste, Blizzard, given that, so Blizzard's answer was to just rename the character, which I think is fair.
Cole Cassidy's a decent name. Sounds like a cowboy.
To be completely honest, I'm quite surprised at how easy it feels that this transition was. Like, even going through, I saw on Twitter and I thought, oh my God, there are going to be a lot of people hating on this. And to my surprise, like, there are haters, but there are a lot of people going like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
whatever.
That's fine. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And I guess we'll end on that not so bombshell. That's news for this week.
It's your weekly Blizzard news.
That's news this week.